walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now. Yeah, I'm too up. Round blew up. Copped that new rape on them haters. Threw up. Brother went to jail for them. Told me you up. First time I seen 100 bands, yeah, I grew up. Ooh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we were blowing your budget in the club to boof up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, I'm with right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now. Too up right now.
Money back, money back, money back. Make it like a money back, money back. God, I do the math back on Monday for Rocky Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I said, babe, it's, he said it's a, them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, he can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 with me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. He said you look like this. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? Gonna look at my snap. I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this guy in the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these rats. Baby lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine, jumping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Babe, back on Monday for Rocky Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a, he said it's a, them pretty, you look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum, always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you like the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the math back on Monday for Rocky Friday.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Minnesota Vikings. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
All right, here we go. 3,
down. This is Saquon Barkley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Gone! Hurry up, here we go. 319! 319! Watch him now, Barney!
They'll drop to throw. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Gone!
Back to throw. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. 3rd down here.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Gone! Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20.
Back 22! Back 22!
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's got room. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. There's an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give them a gain of 38. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They go play action here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They'll go option to the short side. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Gun! 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 Over! 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 Over!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Down! Green the line! Green the line!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Watson just beating the play clock. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Watson on 1st down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A good pickup there on 1st as the screen pass gets him 8.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Credit the tackle to Jalen Holmes.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, They really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1 to Mixon on the check down. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Mixon with a first down carry. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. He had the big touchdown run on the first drive and more room to maneuver right there.
And the big guys up front, they're feeling chesty and strong, creating nice openings for him.
The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15.
Back 22! Back 22!
And the pitch goes to Mixon. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
A shotgun snap for Watson. On the crossing route, complete. That's Cochran. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 6 there on first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Back 22! Back 22!
To throw on second is Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Down! Green the line! Green the line!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And now out comes Minnesota. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now out comes Houston. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this belongs to the Vikings. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. Now let's listen in on the call. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Lucky 56.
It's Barkley on the counter. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Leopard! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A handoff to Barkley. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
Watch it now, Barney!
A first down carry for Barkley. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a 3rd and about 9 to go. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. Carlson able to put this one through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Fielded about a yard deep. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On 1st and 10, Watson. Forced out to his left. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Hey, back 22! Back 22!
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense up the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
that's exactly what they printed up. stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And Hill with it over the middle. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
He'll get it up the middle, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. It's the fullback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are even at 10 apiece. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
Richmond,
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Throw left side complete. It's Townsend. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. On second down, here's Mixon. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fuller. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He got 29 yards that time. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Space to run past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. From the gun, here's Watson. Dumps it off to Mixon. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, as the defense rallies quickly after the nice move. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. The completion on 1st didn't get much, and now the run on 2nd doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7.
Richmond. Down. Green 39. Green 39. Two jet.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our fourth quarter tie. And Elliott puts this one through. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. That play seems to never work, but they were able to draw him off on fourth, and now it's 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Watson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Watson, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. And the kick by Elliott is good. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Green 39! Green 39! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 41 yards. Charles, just a gigantic play right there.
Absolute breakdown defensively, but take no credit away. A huge gain, and that turns things around.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
Again, it's Cook. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. 10 seconds to go. They still got 2 timeouts. Got to start using them, don't they?
You absolutely have to. You save them for this situation, but you have to use them.
Now there's the timeout, signaled for with 2 seconds to go. And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. So a big one coming now for Daniel Carlson. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And he's not able to come through. This is no good. And that is how this game comes to a close. Well, we were prepping for overtime up here in the booth, partner. Thought for sure we were destined for OT. And then the chip shot field goal, no good. A tough loss.
Oh, without question, because when you're saying prepping, I was locked in. I think you were too. We're going to overtime. I was already gathering my thoughts about, okay, how do we start? What happens with the coin toss? Who's going to play defense first? And I have to admit, I'm in a little bit of shock that he missed that field goal.
I'm absolutely still in shock. Just a tough way to end it. So for the Texans, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.